All right, in this SAT question, I'm going to demonstrate a really important grammatical error category for the SAT, and it's subject-verb agreement. In this particular subject-verb agreement question, we're going to talk about subject-verb agreement when there's a non-essential phrase. So, a non-essential phrase is basically a phrase that is not essential. We can take it out. So there's a couple ways we check for this. A lot of times it's going to be surrounded by commas. It's not enough to find something that's surrounded by commas. We have to try to read the sentence without the phrase, and the sentence will still make sense. So the phrase I'm talking about in this one is rather than the state. So notice the commas kind of bracketing it off. Now let's try reading the sentence without that phrase. In the past, the small nation had been committed to self-managed socialism, a system under which the workers owns most enterprises. All right, well, something sounds a little fishy there, but the sentence still does make sense. So another couple checks that we can do for non-essential phrases, it should kind of feel like it's by the way information, like just explaining something to the reader. So we say by the way info, and then also you can kind of read it in a different tone of voice. These are all clues that something is non-essential and that we can take it out. So different tone of voice because we're kind of explaining it to the reader. So as soon as we recognize it's non-essential, let's bracket it off, let's cross it off, and let's kind of think about the sentence without it. And often there's going to be something that you'll hear. So the workers owns most enterprises. So that might sound funny to you. Let's think about why it sounds funny if it does. The workers are a noun, owns is a verb. And now if we think about if there's subject-verb agreement, noun-verb agreement, do we say the workers owns or do we say the workers own? Well, it's the workers own, and I think you're just going to kind of hear that at that point. We made it easier for ourselves to hear by just deleting that phrase. So just a tip, if you do see an underlined verb, you might want to check out and see if the noun that the verb is talking about, the workers are doing the owning, do they agree? And you might want to think about, is there a non-essential phrase in between them that we can delete to make it easier for ourselves to hear it? So the answer is choice D.